If you thought March break was long, summer break is here to say, hold my beer. With a province still unsure how school is going to roll out in the fall, camps still not entirely open, parents are scrambling to figure out what are they going to do with these kids. Joining me today is Yashy Murphy from Parenting to Go. Yashy regularly shares stories about condo living, traveling with young kids, and parenting. We have all been watching Yashy through this quarantine because she keeps her kids pretty busy. So she's going to share some innovative and budget-friendly ways to keep your kids amused this summer. Welcome to the show, Yashy.
Hi there, how are you?
So I have to admit, I have been watching you. My kids are not as young as yours, but I have been watching with keen interest. You have definitely been keeping your kids busy.
That's my mission. If they're busy, then they'll be tired at night. And then once they go to bed, I can continue to work, right? So that's my thinking.
Excellent. So what I really want is some concrete things people can do. So I'm going to leave it to you to go from here, but
All right.
share some of your best activities.
All right. So what I do, I think the best thing I do is every Sunday night, I just sit down and create a schedule for the week. And this way I know what I'm supposed to be doing when, and so do the kids. So they start their morning with screens. And this is where I think parents need to figure out, when do you need time to do your work? So for me, I need the morning free up for myself. So they'll watch some screens and then come the activities. So we do various things. So first up, I divide the day into backyard activities. If you do have a backyard, the biggest tip I can give you is to go and buy some toys for the backyard. And it doesn't have to be hardy, expensive stuff. I bought a blow-up pool for 20 bucks. Found an old tent in the basement that we were able to pull up and put that out. And that gives the kids some space to keep going outside and just off the screens. You still have to be outdoors, especially if there's a pool concerned with young kids. But I get to work outside while watching them. And that's definitely, so invest in some backyard toys. But the other thing we do is we come up with themes for the week. And because we love to travel and we can't travel anymore, we are thinking back on those trips. And so each day might be, okay, today we are going to be talking about Germany. So, we can watch some videos or go through pictures of our trip, but we'll also get together as a family and cook in the afternoon a meal that's German themed. So, hey, you get your dinner sorted too, get the kids in the kitchen. They could do some math and learning unknowns to them. But the other thing I do is also a lot of the tourism sites will have printouts. So with my kids being young, they are 6 and 8, I will go to the certain websites. If you even think of Toronto, right? So if you come to Toronto, visit a CN Tower, go to the CN Tower website or wherever it is and print out something that they can color. And so it's still keeping them busy. And these are cheap activities that, you can just keep on hand. And when you need to hop on a call, here's a coloring sheet. I'll be back in 10 minutes. So that's definitely something that we do. And then we also do themes like spa days. And instead of me treating the kids, this is where you have to get a little dirty. You let the kids treat you. So mine did my makeup one day. They did my hair another day, which ended up with powder in there. But you know what? It's all fun and we're creating memories. And I allocate those hours so I can be with them. So I'm not working during those hours. The afternoon is to play with them and get messy with them. So you could do spa days. We have done camping. I think camping is a very easy one that a lot of families have done. If you don't have a backyard, pitch a tent in your living room, build a fort with those couches. Just do something. Give them a treat, some s'mores, milkshakes. Treats help a lot. So I am not ashamed to admit I pull out the treats regularly.
I think we can all let go of the whole bribery is bad thing right now in a pandemic. If bribes are what are getting you through, bribe away.
Yeah, exactly. Consider it a reward, change your mindset.
Exactly.
So that's thing. And another tip that I've shared is that I know this isn't great for the environment, but I go to the dollar store once a month and I just buy random things and I make a box. And so when the kids need to do something, they need something new, or if I have to hop on a call or do something, I'll tell them, go grab a toy. One toy, something small, this is something cheap, and that'll keep them busy. They just love something new, and especially because we're not roaming around anymore. We're not going to visit new places. This is just one of the ways that I am keeping everybody sane and happy.
And how are you managing then to find sort of a balance between, I mean, I know right now you're bubbling with your parents, so you're in a home with a yard, but when you're in your condo in downtown Toronto, how are you managing that reality?
Yes, it's a very different reality, condo living versus a house. So it was the same thing. So the challenge with our condo, especially at the start of the pandemic, was that we did not have access to our rooftop. All the amenities were closed, so you no longer have the pool or the basketball court. So we stayed at home. We had the similar schedule, and I did similar activities indoors. So instead of an outdoor obstacle course one day, we set up an obstacle course in a tiny living room where the kids got to punch the couch pillows as one station. Then they had a skipping station. So you just think of different ways to bring those same activities indoors. That's what condo families have been doing for years. We continue to do it. But I think as we're all moving into different stages now, there is a little more opportunity to figure out where the safe spots are, right? So even in Toronto, I know where there's a grassy area that the kids can go run around in and not be next to anybody for a good 10 to 20 feet. So and I think we will be doing those more as we go back to Toronto as well.
So it's
And
really about getting creative and thinking outside of the norms. Like you said, knowing those spaces, reaching out to other parents and asking if they know of a space that you can get to outside that's safe to be in as far as socially distancing. I think we all saw across Canada, we all saw the Trinity Bellwoods fiasco. We are not looking to replicate that, obviously.
no, not at all.
Especially with our kids. So are there resources that you're turning to find these spaces, or are you listing this on your website of things to do and places to go?
So yes, well, two parts. One is I think you know your neighborhood, and I'm not encouraging anyone to go traveling beyond your neighborhood. So if you're doing a day trip, that's very different. But for your everyday needs, you know your neighborhood best. But also follow the local resources that you rely on. Because in my case, yes, if anyone's coming to downtown Toronto or you live in downtown Toronto, reach out to me. I can tell you where the parks are. I have a bunch of different sites over the years, because every summer, this is the same story for me. I've had them in what I call Camp Yash. They haven't gone to camp. They haven't done anything else. They've stayed with me. So we've been sharing those. I share it all the time on social media as well. I know some other parents who live downtown do the same. And then when you're traveling, obviously, I think the tourism boards are doing a good job at highlighting some of the non-crowded spots. But because we're right now in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and I found places that I'm shocked I'd never been to before, but I just happened to stumble upon it now. So yeah.
So what has been your favorite activity that you've done in quarantine with your kids? Because we are coming up to, well past 100 days of this. Have there been a few highlights for you?
You know what the funny thing for us is that I kind of let my kids take this over, but we started doing live streams, and I just did it as a joke in the start, just to keep everybody engaged, show them what Toronto life was like. But it now has evolved into the kids taking over. So every Monday they insist on cooking a treat together, and every Friday we make drinks together. So they make mocktails, I make cocktails, and it's something where I'm like, I'm done. I want to take a week off, and they do not let me do that. So it's been great because we're trying new things and getting them in the kitchen. It's been messy, but that's what this whole pandemic is about.
Right. And I want to discourage people, chasing after perfection. So has there been a disaster, something you'll never do again?
Oh my gosh, on a daily basis. Well, obviously in the kitchen, you guys can imagine, we've had disasters, even on the live stream. I once took out, because we were emptying the pantry, we pulled out this old bag of oats that was in the back of the cupboard, started cooking live, and there were bugs in there.
Oh, no.
So we've had disasters in the kitchen, pretty big ones like that, but we're sharing it all. Other than that, I mean, My biggest fear is the kids getting hurt and having to take them to the hospital, which we haven't had to do yet. So our life is full of disasters is how I put it. Like I just laugh it off, so I don't think about it too much.
Which is what makes your content so great. And I want people to go and look and look and see and watch what you're doing and get inspiration to have fun and let go with their kids. So where can they do that?
You can find us on our website, parentingtogo.ca. I'm all over on social media. It is under my name, which is very long, Yashy Murphy. But if you go to the website, you'll find all the links. And come join us. I like to chat with everyone, so reach out.
Excellent. So we're going to put all that information up on the video that goes out on social. And thank you so much for joining me today, Yashy.
Thanks for having me.